you. And thank you everyone for coming. I know it's Friday night for most of you, so I really appreciate. Yeah, and please feel free to have drink with your hand, like drink whenever you want. Yeah, and yeah, thank you everything for and thank you for organizing this event, Angel.
No worries. Thank you, Miho.
Thank you.
So we always start the event with a quote.
Mm-hmm.
Miho, what is your quote?
Yeah, so my favorite quote actually, like after I started my business, what I like remember all the time is the quote from the last samurai in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Like I am not the history lady or anything. I had a bad score in history, but yeah, my favorite quote is by Saigo Takamori, and what he said is about like 200 years ago. Like he said, if a person doesn't care about life and also popularity, power, title, or money, the others don't know how to deal with him or her. And that kind of person will change the country. And like I tend to think like how can I get this like reputation or like for example sometimes title, but then I always like remember this quote and remind me myself that this is not like I should always remember this quote and like need to think. So no money, like, but I just need to contribute. And yeah, so this is my favorite quote.
I love that. So how does that relate to you, Miho? How does that relate to your story?
Mm, so like I become like fearless. Like I don't fear anything with this quote. So like just do it. Yeah.
I love it. Okay, Miho. So let's start all the way from the beginning.
Okay.
Let's talk about your origins. So you told me you come from a entrepreneurial
Okay.
family.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me
Yeah.
more
So
about
yes, most of my family members are entrepreneur. They're not like salaryman or like employee in the corporate. So most of them, like from my grandparents generation, they have been operating their own business. And yeah, also like my grandparents started their own business, and my parents had the same business. They kind of like succeeded it, like inherited it. So yeah, so and my grandmother, she's a very strong entrepreneur, and right after the war, she started a business from like nothing, and yeah, like when she was 16 years old, I heard she has more employee working for herself more than the like number of family members. So she was the oldest in the older family. I heard she had like 7 siblings and she was the oldest. So she had to lead the business, and her father, so my grandfather, like passed away pretty early. So she didn't have like father when she was like 16 years old. So basically her mother, my grandma, she had to take care of all the kids. So my grandmother was the one leading the business. And then, yeah, my grandfather came back from the war, and I heard he went to a very, like the hardest battlefield, and the name is Bela Island. And I heard 1,000 people went there from Japan, and only 4 people returned back to Japan. And he was one of the 4 people came back to Japan. So my grandma was, oh, I thought you were dead when he came back. And then he he got a lot of, I don't want to say just stress, but he got too much pressure. So he suddenly like lost his consciousness after he came back to Japan. And that was when my mom was like 23 years old, and basically the family lost a CEO suddenly. So my mom had to lead the business because my grandmother, who started leading the business since she was 16 years old, because she had to take care of the husband. So my mom started leading the business when she was 23 years old. She was basically doing all the CEO job, and all the sales guys are still male in Japan. And it was about like 40 years ago. So yeah, all the sales guys were like male, but she was the only one driving and selling stuff to the customers. So because that was like too much pressure on her. So by the time she turned 30 years old, all of her hair turned white. So when I was born and when I was walking with my mom, everybody was like, "Oh, you got grandkids?" And she was like, "Shush." Yeah, that's my family.
I see. So, growing up, you always had these very strong female role model. That was your grandma.
Yeah.
Like doing business in a male, like dominated society,
Mm-hmm.
and a strong businesswoman. How did that like inspire you, or how did that affect you?
So I've never thought woman is inferior than male or anything, because in the company I knew, for example, when I was born, my father was already a CEO, but I knew my grandma was always the strongest one in the company and also in the family. So yeah, also like after she passed away, then I know my dad is a CEO, but actually my mom is controlling everything. So I thought these ladies are very smart and they actually do most of the job behind the thing. Yeah. So yeah, most of the inspirational, like the people who gave me inspiration were like, yeah, by any chance, all female.
Gotcha. So basically, growing up, you had that, strong female role model, and then you started working in Japan,
Mm-hmm.
started your career, and when you entered the business world,
Mm-hmm.
it was very different, right?
Yes, it was very different. So the first company that I worked for was like startup. So honestly, in the startup world, I didn't feel so much difference between male and female because everybody needs to just get the skillful person, like whoever it is. So yeah, I didn't feel anything. And the only reason I thought I have to just do kind of like female related jobs such as like serving tea or like making copies or these kind of small tasks, it's because like I was the youngest. So yeah, but when I started working in a corporate, then that was very different. Like on the first day, I was told to wear like 3 to 5 centimeter of high heel, and that will reduce our working efficiency. Like I always running, so yeah. And also, yeah, like for the first 3 months after I started working in a corporate, my job was mainly picking up a phone call for the other 30 members around me. And I found no guys pick up the phone calls. And the next job I got was making a copy. And the next was like shredding 1,000 pages of paper for my boss. So yeah, and I found after I started working there for a few months, a new guy came in. He was younger than me, and yeah, and he worked slower than me, but nobody asked him to do that job. So I was like, what's going on here? So I was surprised.
Right. So how did that make you feel?
I thought I just I don't want to waste my time for this for
Mm.
my entire time. So I thought, yeah, how can I change it?
Okay. And what did you think about?
So I thought, so the job that I was doing in the corporate was the center under, like, operated under government. And yeah, basically I was operating all the like project for government, and they didn't have enough marketing plan. So although they need to in, increase the number of visitors to the center, the only marketing tool that they had was posters and also flyer, all paper based. So I was like, there should be a better way to do it. So I created a proposal to the government, 5 pages of proposal. I wrote it in the weekend, like after, like when I don't have job. And yeah, then I created a plan and presented it in front of the like government people. Yeah.
And how was that?
Yeah. So before bringing the proposal, like my boss told me no to so many times. Like whenever I say like, can I bring this proposal to government? They're like, no, no, because they don't listen to it and they don't want to change anything. So my plan was, right before we went to the meeting, I just showed a plan and I said, I'm gonna bring this plan to the government. So just take a look like right now. And I didn't leave. So I asked him to see it, and then yeah, I brought the plan to the government. And when I presented it, nobody said yes or no. They were just listening because nobody wants to take responsibility for that, because what I proposed was very like new. I say like, yeah, because like we don't have any marketing plan, but everybody is just looking at like smartphone all the time. So like we have to just use it. So let me like use some SNS account like Facebook or LinkedIn, whatever you allow us to do. And yeah, so these kind of new things was very new to them. So yeah, so nobody said yes or no at first, but right after the meeting, these governmental officers brought that plan to the head of the division. And the head of the division was the very smart lady that sometimes everybody was scared of. And yeah, and she looked at the plan. And after that, she called my boss. And my boss was frightened because whenever she called us, it was always like we made some mistakes or like some information got like lost or something. So my boss was frightened. Then she said like, I have never seen anyone bringing me a plan without like me asking. And she was like, even biggest marketing agency in Japan that we collaborate don't bring me any plan. So let's just do it. So that was the first goal sign that I received from the job.
All right. So you basically bypassed your boss. You went to the government. You took initiative. You presented your project. You got approved.
Yeah.
What was your boss's reaction to that?
I was like, all right, but like, as long as because the government is even like in the higher position than my boss, and I was like here, so yeah, as long as the top said yes, they can say no. So yeah, so he was like, just okay, if the government says yes, do it. Yeah.
All right, all right, awesome. I really like the fact that you took that initiative. I really like that. So then, when did you decide to start your own company?
So that's after like 2 years later after I did the government job, all of my clients, I mean like the visitors in the center, were like international entrepreneurs, and there are so many like hurdles and struggles to them. And like the government, I was trying to do my best with like within the government like initiative, but there are so many things that I couldn't like change, and many like customers started asking me about something that nobody could answer to them. For example, like every consultant knows very like horizontal like based knowledge, and for example visa specialists know about visa, tax specialists know about tax, but if they ask a questions about like what if I create a company and how the tax is gonna work, and also like in this situation which visa suit me the best, and nobody could answer the question. And I organized almost 100 events with like under the center, and I invited so many consultants like immigration specialists or like judicial scriveners and all this like national certified consultants. And since some of the audience was like non-Japanese speakers, so I was like translating all the like materials. So I somehow got all the knowledge, and I was like, what if I can connect this knowledge vertically? Then then I started talking with my customers, and then I thought I should know more practice than just like studying about law and how these like procedures works on the paper basis. So to help more, and to be of help, I started my own business.
All right. And how was the start? How was it in the beginning?
In the beginning,
Was it difficult to get clients? What challenges did you have at that stage?
the challenge that I had was I didn't know anything, maybe. Like I was working in a startup before like starting the government job. So I knew like how startup works. But these are all like owned by Japanese people. So like how international entrepreneurs actually open a business and operate a business is very different from what Japanese entrepreneurs do. So but I didn't have any challenges about not getting clients because I started a business because I knew I will have a customers, because one of the reasons that I had to leave the government job was I got too many emails that I couldn't even respond, like about like these like questions or something like very vertically connected to different field. So so I knew like what I have to do is just study and know like what's going on.
Exactly. And something that you said was very interesting. You said that foreign entrepreneurs in Japan have a very, like different set of obstacles that Japanese entrepreneurs have. What challenges do foreign entrepreneurs have in Japan?
The first one is always visa. That's so difficult. Of course, like language barrier and these like obstacles, but like first one is always the visa.
So visa, language, anything else?
Also like maybe communication troubles. So like usually like most of the like Japanese, I think, is like salaryman says no to everything at first. Like that was the same for me. But I know like some of the instant no is actually not no. Like we can change if we really think. But like if they say like 社内で検討します, it's like I will think about the plan internally. Like I will bring this idea to my company. Then that means like nothing's gonna happen. So these kind of things. So like I think many entrepreneurs come to Japan and like start visiting some acceleration program, and this like innovation team is like, yeah, we want to listen to your idea, and like, oh yeah, that idea is very interesting and very exciting. And if they say like, yeah, we will think about it like internally. So like let us give like please give us some time. Then it's gonna take a long. So this kind of like time difference is like hard for startups, because like startups is always like, I don't have money next month, but like what if I do, like if I don't have any sales? So yeah, that's different.
All right, gotcha.
Yeah.
I see. So basically, let's say I'm working in a Japanese company.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say I'm doing marketing or whatever, and then I get this inspiration. And I'm like, you know what? I want to start my own company in Japan. What should be the next steps for that? What should I do next?
I would recommend you to like find a customer first. Yeah, like start from like by testing the idea, like not just quit a company and like just start everything. So maybe like we all need to get ready and test the idea, and then if we are sure that we have some like customers, and if we are sure that we have like enough like we can cover their living cost, then I think we should start a business. Otherwise, like getting the visa stress, like I have only 1 year visa, or like this kind of like stress, that's like big stress. And also like having a like this like financial like stress is like just too much. So take it easy and start little by little.
Right, little by little. So basically, not quit right away, but get some clients, start making money, and then gradually transition. Right?
Yeah, gradually transition is good. So like, because of the visa, it's sometimes difficult for international entrepreneurs to like start a business without having company. But still, there is a solo proprietor, like kind of freelancing, but like legal entity. So it's the middle freelancer and like company, like 株式会社 or incorporation. So like people can start the business from there. So if your visa allows. So that's one way.
What exactly do we need to get that freelancing visa? What do we need for that?
So that's a bit tricky, but if you can get about like $2,000 or $2,500 of monthly like income, then with that contract, people can get kind of, I don't call it freelance visa, but people can get like engineer humanity international service visa.
Yeah, that's the one I have.
Okay.
All right. Awesome, Miho. So going back to the government, I think a lot of people don't really know that it is possible to collaborate with the government. Like, I guess for me as an entrepreneur, like the way I see the government is like the kuyakusho, you know? like if I have to like get like my number or like do something like that, my Nenkin or my Kokumin Hoken or something like that. But let's say I start my business, I'm making money, getting clients. How can I approach the government, like to collaborate?
Collaborate. That's difficult. But, I think the collaboration always start with like how to help the government. For example, if government has like marketing issue, then probably the approach will be like, how can I help you to get more customers, for example. So like some of my like friends who are writing about some articles about what kind of like government initiative like they can use, and also like how, for example, because I'm in Tokyo, how Tokyo is trying to like open up the door for entrepreneurs. So these are like, yeah, some way to help government first, right? For the publicity and good publicity. That's one. And yeah, I think like starting with this like helping government with publicity is one, I think. And yeah, my main job at the center was like PR and marketing for the center. So I think that helped me.
Right. And of course, it would be better if we speak Japanese.
Yes, will be better. Yeah, but like when I collaborate with like many consultants, I also think language is important, but more important thing is always the knowledge and practical experience that they have. Mm.
All right. That's awesome.
Mm.
I want to go to our third point, which is empowering female entrepreneurs in Japan. So in the West, we have this movement of empowering women to, be engineers, become CEOs, entrepreneurs, and why not? However, in Japan, we don't really see this so much.
Mm.
How can we empower women to become entrepreneurs?
Difficult question. um, yeah, honestly, I'm not sure, but what I thought when I was working in a corporate is which risk is higher, like the one working in a corporate forever and like not having enough like enough income compared to the other like male like colleagues, and also like raising a kids and also like working as a full time and this like all this like work, or like or I feel like I might be able to do better if I just start my own business than just like being stuck in the same place. So like empowerment is like it's very difficult, and but women is not minority, right? We are like 50% of the population. So I at the same time like I think like we need empowerment, but at the same time I feel like we are not minority. Like we don't need to get so much like special treatment. Yeah. So what I did was I stick to the numbers because I cannot change the culture. Like if people think like women are inferior, or yeah, we can do less job, therefore we have to serve tea or these things. If they think that way all the time, I cannot change. So the change I made was like I show the numbers all the time, especially not only the number, but like the flow of people that's visible and that's very obvious result. And with that number, I like discussed everything. Yeah. So like find something that like everybody can be convinced. Yeah. So that's the way that we can make change, I think.
All right. So let's say you meet another person, a woman, who was in your situation. She is working in a company and she's trying to make some change, but it's very difficult. And she feels frustrated. Like, what would be your advice to her?
So I would advise her to find something that she can do, but nobody can do in the organization. So like for my like case, that was my kind of like strength or uniqueness was I was working in a startup that nobody had like experience. And yeah, also I had little experience about PR marketing. So, and I knew that nobody has that experience in the organization. So I would advise her what you can do better than people. Even a little thing is fine. And then like what's the number or result that they can build? Like yeah, from the project that she's like joining, for example. Mm.
Got it. No, that's certainly very valuable information.
Also, I think I would recommend the person to find the right decision makers. Decision makers is not always the boss. It's somewhere else sometimes. So we have to know the person. So yeah, that will be my advice.
Understood, understood. And I guess that takes us to our other topic, which is how we can inspire change in a corporation. I know it's quite difficult because usually uh, it's quite difficult to create changes in a Japanese corporation rather than a Western one. But how can we move the company on the tracks of innovation and change instead of like moving slowly and stagnating?
Yeah. Yeah, let's see.
And I'm sorry to interrupt you before you tell us. For example, I used to work in a company.
Yeah.
It was a Swedish company, but basically Japanese environment. And I had all these ideas like, oh, we should do this for marketing. We should do this for social media. And they're like, nope, 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 nope. How can we change that?
Okay, so I think just show them the result. And I started showing the result like outside of my workplace. So like after the work, because my main job was PR marketing, and I had to show the numbers of people, like number of the visitors increasing. So what I did was I went to all the startup event after all the like job. So yeah, then like people started to notice that like I meet so many people that I know at the event, and they're like, why is it? Because I don't really tell them, but I went to all the events, and government started to notice that like these like people that I met in the event actually coming. So yeah, like I started to show the result, and they're like, what did you do? Then like I actually visited many events. I did this, and yeah, that's why they're coming. And they're like, yeah, like just then keep doing it. Yeah, so that's the way that I started something new with them.
Yeah. Showing them those results, huh?
Yes, first, yeah.
Gotcha, gotcha. I love it, Miho. Thank you so much. Do you have any strategies for entrepreneurs or people who are curious about the whole startup scene in Japan? Like how can we join that startup scene that's going on?
I will recommend them to just like meet lots of people in their startup scene, and also like just going to all the events first to know what's going on and who is the person actually like controlling the community, and who connects to like the other, like who connects to who. And yeah, that's the first thing that I try to see, and I use LinkedIn a lot for that. Yeah, that's the first step always. And after that, I would research a lot of things. For example, like like if I were international entrepreneurs, I will research about like visa and like incorporation, everything before making any kind of decisions. And yeah, after that, I just do it and practice and learn on the way, I think.
And do you have any tips for networking?
Networking, I am bad at networking.
Really?
I don't like, yeah. But like, I think because I am not good at like networking with people on site, so I always think about like how can be like how I can like help of like community, help startup community. And what I usually do is providing information that is not available in English, so nobody can access to that information. But like, so I show the information and post the information, for example like blog. Then I see like what kind of information they're looking for and what kind of information they're like interested in to get. And then like I know better understanding of like what kind of direction I should move. And yeah, so just like start, I just start with like publishing information that people might interested in.
Exactly. So basically defining your target audience, give them valuable information, and then get those contacts.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Is it like that?
Yes. Like after getting contact, we just start like exchanging ideas. So it's not like, yeah, so how much is this or something like
Right.
yeah.
Awesome. So, Miho, I guess the last question, and we're almost at our Q&A session, is what is the change that you would like to see in the world?
Right now, the change is everybody is really traveling anywhere that they want. Yeah, I want to see like some like my friends or business partners in abroad, and yeah, they just want to come to Japan, but they cannot. So yeah.
All right. And what is the song that inspires you?
So the song is "Let's Call the Whole Thing Off," especially the one that like Louis Armstrong is singing. Other than that, I'm just listening to lazy song all the time.
Is that the Bruno Mars song?
Oh yes. I'm just listening that all the time.
I love it. All right, Miho. Any final thoughts before we go to the Q&A session?
So like I'm curious what kind of like entrepreneurs are here and what kind of thing you're doing in your like daily life. And yeah, looking for exchanging ideas with you. So
Definitely, Miho. Thank you so much for, providing your very valuable and inspirational insights.
thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's go to our Q&A session. You guys, we'll start our Q&A session. If you look at the right corner of your screen, you'll see the chat. And basically, please type your question to Miho-san. Just one thing before you type your question. We are recording this event. This recording will be posted on YouTube. And if you would not mind being recorded, like when you ask the question to Miho, you will like talk. If you don't mind that, please put the number 1 before your question, like number 1, and then your question. If you don't wish to appear on camera, please put number 2. Number 1, if you are okay with appearing on camera and talking to Miho directly. And number 2, if you don't want to appear on camera, and I will just read the question to me. I will give you guys 2 minutes so you can think and then type those questions. And then those 2 minutes start now. One more minute. Thirty seconds. All right, time is up. Let's go to question number one. Bodan, take it away.
Yeah, hi everyone. So, oh, my video is off. Anyway, hi everyone again. So my first question is, how can a software engineer get a Japanese visa? What are options? It's, well, I am a software engineer and I'm interested. So
Yeah, so I think many people start working in a corporate first, or like not startups, to secure their 5-year visa first as an engineer. And yeah, this is like because Immigration Bureau cares about the size of the company and how much tax the company pays to tax agency. So like it's easier to start with the big corporation first to like ease your stress, ease your visa stress. Yeah, like as long as you can get a job from them, then it's, I think the company will just do all the visa procedures for you.
okay, clear, yeah.
Yes.
So that's the simplest option as I understand, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you, that answers my question. Now,
Yeah.
the second question goes, so
Yeah.
let's imagine that a foreigner is working in a Japanese corporation. So how can he inspire the changes in the corporation? Is there any difficulty based because you're a foreigner?
If I think the company and the culture of the company is very domestic, I think it's very like hard to like make some like voice at first, but like as long as like you can show them like what you can actually do, like result, and like how much actually like benefit you can provide to the company, then I think they will listen to everyone.
Oh, I think I got it. So show them the results, and based on the result, it will be easier to persuade with the change. Yeah.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Absolutely makes sense. And the third question is, are there some unique characteristics of Japanese startups? So let's say I make a startup in US or in Europe and in Japan. Anything I should think of? Anything that comes to the mind?
So
specific to Japan.
Specific to Japan, I think all the startup scenes are pretty similar, I think. But I think because of this like aging population, Japan is focusing on health or insure tech field, I think, more than like any other part of this world. So I feel like in America, like people are more into like blockchain, but in Japan, I would say it's gonna be like how like we can build a like insurtech, or like how we can like build that, like use that technology to like better build a society, like especially aging society. So for example, like asset management is like many people have like asset, especially like elder population, but nobody know how to make use of the asset. So like fintech companies and these like asset management companies trying to enter Japan. So yeah, I think the difference.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
That's
how.
valuable piece of information.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. No more questions from me. Thanks, Miho.
Thank you.
All righty. Miho, did you have anything else to say to him?
The last thing I was trying to say was like, yeah, how we can like penetrate the business idea to the aging society, which is very unique to Japan. Yeah, that's it.
Cool, thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Bodan. Let's go to Sima.
Yeah.
Hi everyone. So Miho, my question to you is like, what sort of industries do most of your clients come from, and do you know what those businesses' success rates are?
So most of my clients are like, it's broad, but IT sectors, which doesn't need any initial investment like manufacturer. So yeah, that's easy to start with just like one laptop. So yeah, these are the main industries, including like blockchain or like or just like system like development, I think. And success rate is tricky question because like we have to see for like about 10 years whether they're like surviving or not. But I think most of my clients are doing well for the first few years, I think, especially if they build enough network to like meet people and get clients, I think.
Okay, thank you for that.
Thank you.
All right, Sima, thank you so much. Let's go to Anthony.
All right, good evening, and thanks again for this wonderful event. Miho, it's great to finally see one of your events, and I'm someone who has survived the process of transitioning from the corporate environment to becoming a sole proprietor, and you're 100% correct. There's a lot of stress around visa and this process. So my question to you is, what would you like to see changed, if anything, in this process for foreign entrepreneurs? There's a lot of people who want to come to Japan and start a small business, and there are a lot of foreigners here who want to get started. Based on your experience, what should change? What should immigration change? What should the government change? I'd just like to get your thoughts on that.
Okay, so I think regulation. So I want like everybody to ease the regulation all the time for first visa. And like incorporation is like not difficult as visa, I would say. So yeah, so first visa all the time. Also like license. Most of my clients from fintech industry have like lots of problem with like getting license to just start a business. And it will take about 1 year or 2 years to just get the license. So at the time they cannot do anything here. So yeah, the regulation is always the first thing to change. And the second one, I want like them, or like I want everybody to change, is like all the small unfair treatment. For example, many of my friends say like I can't even get a credit card because I'm Japanese. Yeah, they just decline the like bank account like application because it's like non-Japanese name. So it's hard to see, and it's like hard to like negotiate or doing anything. But this kind of small, like just a little unfair treatment in every day is too much for most of the people, I think. So yeah, I want it to be changed.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
I enjoyed the talk too.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Definitely. Yeah. Thank you. All right.
All right, Anthony, thank you so much. Let's go to our next question, which is from Ryan. And Ryan says, at what point should an entrepreneur retain the services of a lawyer? He said, Miho said, it is important to get a customer or a contract early. Is there any risk associated with performing services without any formal contracts?
Okay, so maybe having kind of relationship with these legal advisors without having contract, maybe, I guess. Yeah. I would like do like not due diligence, but like I will research what kind of background they have before I actually talk with them, I think. So they always have like title like lawyer, immigration specialist, or like 司法書士 or these like titles. But I try to look at their activities, like searching for example, sometimes SNS, sometimes like what kind of blog they are publishing and what kind of articles they have. And sometimes I just read their books before I started talking with them, so I can like see like how much knowledge they actually have and how much experience and practical experience they have with the clients. So am I answering questions correctly?
Well, actually, I was thinking more along the lines of like with a potential client, should you have a contract, I guess, early before you even establish a company or quit your job or anything? Should you get a lawyer at the same time as you are about to bring on your first client? Does that make sense?
Yes, I think that depends on, thank you for the explanation. That depends on the like legal risk, like how much legal risk we have to take by getting the customers, I think. If it's low, I think you don't really need. It's always better to get prepared. But usually I try to see the benefit of having the lawyer by like having like some like 1 hour consultation or 30 minutes consultation to see how they can help you actually.
Okay.
Yeah, if that the case is relating to like something very like sensitive, like that might cause you some legal trouble, then I will definitely like go to lawyer and see like start asking them questions. And yeah, I will try until I find the right lawyer who can give me the right answer, I think.
Okay, well, would you consider Japan to be a particularly like litigious type of environment? Like, you know, if there's some disagreement on the quality of the services rendered or some disagreement on the project output, you know, would there be a strong risk of getting sued?
Or I think in Japan, even if somebody sue somebody, they cannot get back much money. So it's usually become like waste of time, honestly. So for example, in America, I heard that people can actually get a lot of money from the compensation of damages, right? But in Japan, it doesn't really work. So it's better to be prepared, of course, but I don't think there are too much legal risks. I think as long as we are doing in the right way, I think.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Miho. Let's go to the next question. Is it possible to start with engineer visa to business?
Yes, to business. Yes, I think so. And as long as your side business or second business is relating to engineer, like something like developing software, like this engineer job, then you're still doing your activities within the scope of like engineer visa. So you can do it without any problem. But if you're start managing a company, then that's different activities. Like even though it's engineer service, what you are doing is like directing the company, managing the company. So it's gonna be a business manager visa. So we need to really know the line, I think. So yeah, it's possible.
All right, thank you, Miho. And I guess this will be our last question from Brainard.
Yeah.
Is
Hi.
that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Brainard. Yeah.
Brainard.
Hi. So good evening, everyone. So first, I would like to thank everyone for this kind of event, and you've been inspiring, Miho. And you told us that how important taking the first step is, and if people are doubting you, show them results. That's so brave of you, especially in a Japanese setting, right? So my question is, I heard that most of young Japanese professionals are choosing to start their own company than working in a corporate world. Is that true? And what are the common industry or business startup they are engaging?
I feel like many young professionals are start working in company, I guess. But I think some of the very like talented people choose startup, I think. Startups, or they even like start their own companies, I think. And I think the common industry is like maybe like AI, or this like cutting edge technology like machine learning, or
Okay, got it. I have one last question. Would it be easier to have a Japanese business partner to start a business in Japan?
So it will make everything much easier, I think, if you have one. So
Got it.
yeah, first of all, like if, for example, if the Japanese partner becomes the representative director, then you don't need to worry about like business manager visa, and also like opening a bank account, registering for a credit card, and this everything is gonna get easier. So it's always better to have a Japanese partner.
Hi, thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, also language is so complicated. So yeah.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Bernard, thank you so much. Oh, we actually have one more question from Sima. Sima.
Hi, Miho again. So to follow on from Bernard's question, you said it's easier if you have a Japanese partner. What if that partner is a silent partner in your business? They're just a placeholder, like a name for your business.
Yeah. I think it still works, I guess. Yeah. Like, for example, I have lots of requests about applying for a loan program right now because, like, for example, COVID hit all the businesses, so they need cash. And if they have a Japanese partner, then that's like the process is easy because like there are so many government like documents that is associated with the evidence that we live in Japan for a long time. And it's always hard to show the just a like certificate of like residence or these things. And even like also like how to get this document from which like government office is very like complicated. So yeah, still that's gonna probably make her business easier, I think. Yeah.
Are there any risks to that? Like, what are the biggest risks of having a silent partner then?
That's risks. But immigration bureau might think, for example, if you're actually what you are doing is managing a business, and if it's too obvious, then they might think that, and if somebody like actually managing the business have only like only like working status visa, then that's easier. Like I mean that's it's better to have the business manager visa. So for example, so yeah, like there is so many gray area, I think, but we need to like know the line for each process, I think. Yeah, so it's very gray, so I cannot really tell you specifically, but yes.
Thank you. Thank you, though.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And Miho, where can we find you?
LinkedIn. If you can find me like Miho Tanaka on LinkedIn, then that will be great.
Should I post the link to your LinkedIn on the chat?
I will post it. Thank you.
You mind if I do it?
Oh, please, if you can do it.
All right, guys, this is Miho's LinkedIn. And
Yeah.
also, do you mind if I put your business website here too?
Please, thank you.
Awesome. All right, guys. So we are basically finished with the event. I really recommend you guys use Miho's services. She's an amazing professional. She has a lot of knowledge, and I'm pretty sure she's gonna help you a lot setting up your business, getting your visa situation straight. Just send her a message, and that would be it for today. Any final message, Miho?
Thank you everyone for joining, and yeah, on this Friday night time, and I'm glad to see you, and also like getting lots of questions and actually discussing with you about it questions. And thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed. ありがとうございました.
Thank you so much, guys. We're finished for today. Our next event will be next Friday. And that's it for today. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. See you next time.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Thank you so much for that wonderful
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Have a good weekend.
You too.
It's like Disneyland. We're like.
Thank you very much.